Alexis, first of all, thanks for coming on again. I appreciate it. You seem to be totally cool with walking me through every part of this app. I noticed that every time I log on, there's like a homepage. It's like kind of a news feed, but it's kind of also not as boring as a news feed. Sometimes I'll see interesting people on there. I'll see blurbs on there. I've seen a lot of different stuff. What is that thing that we first see when we open the Buddy app?
That's on your Discover page. And so we're referring to it as the Discover feed. Just like you said, right now at the top, there's a bunch of Discover articles that are about different people, different efforts, initiatives, businesses. We also link from other medias and different publications too. It's really just a resource and a fun place to check in and read up on different things about diving and different photographers. And it's searchable and it like lives inside of the app. So it's just some fun content for people to read up on.
The big thing that stuck out to me, and I'll be honest with you, I creeped through it a little bit. Like I know you can swipe it and that's what you want us to do, but I did it for a different reason. I went in and did it to see if this is just a bunch of ads, because you know when you download a free app, right, you get the ads and all that stuff. And I know your app does not have any of that garbage. I felt like this is kind of the pulse on the dive community and what's going on. How do you source that information?
So we have a group of writers who help us, and we also reach out to other people too. And you're right. This is the beginning stages, and we really want to focus on the community, and we really want to let people be heard, whether they're an instructor or a marine biologist or just somebody who loves to travel and knows all the best dive spots. It gives them a platform and it gives them a place and a voice where there's active listeners and where people who really actually are interested in consuming that kind of content. But where we source it is from the people.
Can some people pay for an occasional plug in there?
So we're working on that right now. The answer in the long run will be yes, of course, but that will involve a larger update that'll make this feed more interactive, involve more than just articles, more videos and pictures and guides, tour sponsors. So it'll be a far more active and engaging thing before we ever want to sell a spot.
I got you. So, and right now, how do you pick? Do I gotta like slip you a 20? How do I get my article up there? Like, how do you decide what goes through? There's an algorithm. Are you doing it at night? How do you decide what goes on there?
Well, we have a team who looks over just the different strategies that we have and the things that we want to talk about collectively, try to give everybody a chance and a voice. So it's really right now, one by one basis of putting them out there as we're just starting up and we're starting to grow. But again, in the long term, there will be an algorithm. It'll be automatic. It'll be something a little easier to continually put more of there out there. We really want just quality content. We want people who love the dive community, who have something fun to say or fun to share with us. I mean, it's just as much of a promotion for them. And it just gives people another reason to come on Buddy besides just logging a dive.
Some people are very into their apps, whether it's the Sunto app, Oceanic app, the Garmin, whatever it is. Nothing wrong with those, right? But they don't have this. This is a pulse. This is the feed. And I can go on there and see what's new.
So nice. Thank you for that. I mean, we want it to be relevant and recent and a mixture of your buddies' dive logs that you can go and check out and mark down for your bucket lists. But we also want there to be other content that's engaging too, from the interview to the video to the initiative effort. So there's a wide range of content and it's only going to grow from there.
I'm excited that there is finally a central feed of what's going on in scuba diving. There's been some decent stuff out there. I mean, Scuba Diving Mag has done some stuff. You know, there's Deeper Blue. There's good people out there, but I feel like I've actually seen their articles on this app. This is really more of the showcase. They're out there doing stuff. You're finding the good stuff and giving it to us, man. And I love it.
I was about to say that. No, we love their content. Their content's wonderful. They have great writers and contributors, and they highlight the same efforts that we also support and love. So it's really just giving them another platform to feature their content as well. So we have Buddy written content. We have other diving media content that we all trust and love, like Deeper Blue.
So you actually do in-house content as well.
Yes, yeah, we're working on that. You can kind of start to see little tidbits of that we'll be putting out soon. But the first thing that you can already see is our written content that we feature inside of the app.
I'm excited. What are you most excited to see on the feed that isn't there yet that you can tell me? I feel like I'm always trying to prod you into telling me the new sequence.
I mean, you know, we've had a lot of recent submissions in terms of writer contributions and stories that people want to tell. People are actually really contributing like new and fun stories that might not else have a platform. So I'm actually most excited to showcase those articles and those efforts just because they're different.
And I noticed that some of the buddy users are getting featured on there. You're doing write-ups on them and stuff. I've known some of these people, and I've heard them tell me, this is a true story, that they've seen an uptick in their followers. They got a few ads after that, and a couple people were like, hey, I saw you on that.
We're going to be building into the Discover feed a place for users to be featured. And that'll be like, so you'll be on there, which will be like really awesome. It'll be like on the homepage and it'll link directly to your profile. And currently on the Discover feed, when you click the search tab, the immediate buddies that appear are our lead buddy explorers for that month. And you're on there as well.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah. Well, because we love your content and we love working with you and you're always answering people's questions, but we have a rotating group of people we will feature on there as well.
The actual mechanics of how you source what goes on the Discover feed, how's that work?
Hearing from our users specifically, how we source that is our Discover Stories page on our website, divewithbuddy.com/discover stories. You can find it in the Linktree list on Instagram. Search it up. It's a web page that lists out the different topics and genres and the type of person you might be or diver that you can fill out an interview forum that we will receive your responses to and write an article about you and feature you inside of the app. There's also ways for you to just contribute stories. If you're already a writer, contribute your story that we would absolutely love to feature. And just in general, working with people who reach out to us to lend a platform to whatever they want to talk about.
Is this going to change over time? Like the look, the feel? You had said something a few minutes ago about when it becomes more interactive.
Yeah, we're always improving on the app, and for the rest of the year, you're going to see consistent updates, feature updates, design updates. It's only getting better from here. So right now you can see our Discover article placements at the top of the Discover feed, and below you can see your buddy's dive activity, all their dive logs that you can like and comment on. But over time, this Discover page and this full Discover feed is going to turn into a scrolling feed that has more than just articles. It's going to have photos and videos and travel guides and tour promotions, your buddy's activity. So it's more going to be engaging and interactive and relevant to what's interesting to you.
This one is huge. I even wrote it down because I didn't want to forget. Is there any danger with if you start seeing a lot of a particular brand or agency or manufacturer or whatever? Are you worried about that? Then people going, oh, I'm not going on there. I only see a bunch of those people. How do you get around that?
Well, there's always a danger of being too heavy in a certain type of content or working with a certain business or a brand too much. But we're a startup and we're doing our best to evenly distribute our content. I mean, it's really just like any other media company. How do they decide how much of one thing versus another thing do they write about? It's truly a balancing effort on our team's behalf. And right now, because we're in startup phases and really want our current loyal beginner users to like have a voice on this platform, they have just as equal of a chance as anybody else currently and will continue to do so in the future.
I'm just happy to know that you guys are cognizantly, I don't know if that's a word, you guys are cognizant about that potential powder keg.
Yes, of course. You have to keep that in mind when you're promoting different content and you're writing different things. And that's definitely why we have a mixture. That's why we write on our own behalf. That's why we feature stories about other people and initiatives. That's why we pull from other existing wonderful media blogs like Deeper Blue. There's a few on there, Mission Blue. There's a lot of established wonderful content out there, and we're doing our best to be balancing, and we're more of the aggregate, not the competitor.
I think you're right on the money. I just, of course, want to bring it up because, I'm sitting there and I know someone's thinking that. So hopefully you just answered somebody's question out there. I know you're talking about featuring people and articles and other things. What's the one you feel like is your ace in the hole? What's the one that's got you excited coming up?
We are developing our own guides. So travel guides, the places in the world you'd want to go dive at or go travel to. And we're going to be featuring different locations, and not only just the general, what's it like there diving, but where would you dive? Who would you dive with? And what dive sites are there, as well as the additional travel recommendations and places you'd like to eat. So kind of a one-stop shop for a guide. That's coming in the long run, but that is definitely a sneak peek into something really fun that we're working on.
I got something out of you. There's my get. I'm out, everyone. That's going to be in the Discover feed.
Yes. And eventually across all of our channels. Every user who opens the app every day sees those articles. They can search them always. So it's not just like lost in the feed after those 5 days. It lives on.
I'm going to go in there and creep a little bit.
Yes.
At first, I was so worried about features and it does this and does that. The more I step back for longevity, especially when people have those peaks and valleys with their diving, this gives me a reason to come on to the dive app when I'm not diving.
And plan for the next dive and still be inspired by the ocean and still support other small businesses and other people who love diving. Just because you're not like at a dive site ready to log your dive doesn't mean that you still don't want that fun world to check into. Every time we launch them in our app, we also translate that across all of our social channels. So it's featured both in the app and across all of our digital channels too.
I think the brilliance in this is giving people a hub even when they're not diving. We don't all get to dive all the time, Most people only get to go a few times a year. All right, what's coming up in a few weeks that you're excited about?
Something that in the next couple weeks that will be launching is our dive business integration, where we're going to launch the about pages, the profile pages for different businesses inside of the app. And this is just before phase 2, which is when we have the booking platform next year. So we're going to be launching a way for businesses to have their profiles in our app that aggregate all the different content about them and their team, link all their buddy profiles to the business profile. So you can see the full team that works at that business.
The businesses, you're talking dive charters, dive resorts, dive shops, coffee shops. Oh, just making sure you're listening.
Yeah, no. It's a cyclical tool of being able to promote yourself and promote your tours and help your customers. And it's our phase 1 of phase 2 of the booking platform, but it's really a space for these first businesses to be on the app and have access to all the eyes right now.
So right now, I know we're talking about the Discover feed. It would really be in a business's best interest, it sounds like to me. I had a dive shop. I always wanted to be right in front of the next thing. It sounds to me like they could A, get on that Discover feed now if they try, and B, just go ahead and start laying the groundwork. As you said, there's a feature coming out where they're going to be able to start integrating and having a funnel.
Those first placements will also be within that search feed. So not only can all of your team members, like your dive masters and your instructors, they can directly link your dive shops or resorts profile page to their profile. And then in our search function on the Discover feed, right now you can search your buddy, you can search your current buddy's dive log activity, and you can search all the content that we write and promote. And put in the app. Next year, when we have the booking platform, that little booking tab at the bottom coming soon, all those businesses will be listed there in full as well. So that's also upcoming. You've gotten like 2 really good extra things out of me.
I'm squeezing them out of you. All right. Anything else about Discover content feed that you want to add that we did not cover?
I would love for people to submit cool different dive stories and hear from different writers as well. So no, I'm just excited for people to check out the content, and I'm excited to give other users and our first ones a platform.
I love just staying in the feed of diving. I think it's the first place. It's curated, but it's not. It's a little bit of everything. I guess that's the not curated, and you curate it to make sure it's good.
Yes, balance, of course.
Yeah, no, but it's the only place where you can kind of get it all. So I love it. I'm excited.
All of the users are so wonderful in submitting and being patient with us and letting us know what would be most useful to them. And we want to give people a place that's like purposeful for them and a fun tool to have as well. So
I love that you're still going out there all the time. I don't lose that. I think it keeps your sword sharpened. A lot of people ask me why I still dive at Dive Quest every week, chasing people, rocket into the surface and everything. And it keeps your sword sharp. You don't lose touch.
Yeah, what do you mean? That's why I love it. I mean, you really do need to be hands on the ground and talk to people who are booking, talk to the businesses, talk to the crew, truly find out what's helpful. You're out there real life testing.
If you want to support my channel, go to sweetwaterscuba.com. We have all the good stuff like the shirts, the hats, the stickers, everything. Autographed kids books are on there and wholesale opportunities for retailers. Don't forget, we're on almost every major channel, put out daily content, new stuff all the time. I'm on live all the time, so hopefully I'll see you on either TikTok, Kenny_Dial, Instagram, Sweetwater_Scuba, Facebook, just search me, or just search me in your browser, Kenny Dial. One of those should come up. Finally, the YouTube channel has all the podcasts and all of the short form stuff. It actually kind of has everything in one spot. Either way, I hope to see you on one of these apps, on one of these pages. Whatever connects us to the underwater world, I hope to see you there. Let's show the rest of the world the rest of the world.